been as impressive as other carries. But maybe that's about to change. Maybe One Win's about to show us. As soon as our pub data got hidden, we immediately broke out the Luna practice, and we're about to show off why everyone should be playing Luna. I kind of hope so. I really like Luna.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, her entire facet is worse than Tiny's innate. Think about it. So like that's like one of those reasons. Like her facet is 30% damage reduction. Tiny's facet is 50% damage reduction. Obviously, it's a little bit more conditional, but he doesn't have to activate it. It's like one of those things that like people just forget how broken Craggy Exterior is. That like she literally has to like press a button and you get 20% less damage reduction than the.
Okay, but to be fair, hers is just all damage reduction. Tiny's is attack damage specifically.
Yeah, that's fair.
So there's some value to hers as well.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's just funny, like you said, the numbers just aren't quite there, and you're like, that might be one of it.
When it comes to attack damage, you're definitely right.
It is game 2 here of One Win versus Aurora. One currently up 1-0 here in this series of really impressive game 1. The thing I'm actually most curious about here out of all of these facets is the contract killer key.
Yeah.
This facet finally did get buffed slightly because it was widely considered to be the worst facet in the entire game. I don't know if the buff is enough. Like, you need your other one to actually farm and get to things like Diffusal. So I am really curious to see how it's going to affect his item timings. A lot of damage out here onto the Luna. There's the full duration shackles. No way to stop this at the moment. And Munkushi with the blood grenade out as well. They won't have the damage to finish him. Got a wand.
Ooh,
have to walk all the way to base and TP.
Yeah, though I will say, if any support is going to get some extra XP, Jakir is a great one. Like, as soon as you hit level 2, you pretty much beat every other support. I don't think Luna's so fast. I don't even think Munkushi's going to miss very much. Here we'll get like a little bit of extra or XP. Like you said, the Ricky starting with contract killer is a bit of a surprise. Sweden Strong has a deep ward placed for the courier kills though, and is already on his way to try to find this tiny courier. There you go, 25 a bonus XP, already paying off, and a creep drag. Yeah, he is going to commit to the creep drag, and I mean, kind of like you said, conceptually very similar to Bounty Hunter. Probably just going to see him creep drag for the Darkseer and roam early, kill couriers. Get observer kills, get that bonus XP. He's close to dying. Just one more shadow word. Throw the shadow word on the front melee creep.
That would be brutal.
It's gonna force him under the tower. This is unideal, but yeah.
We'll get level 2. They're still doing a decent amount of pressure here topside, which is the though. But surprised he's letting the whole wave die under the tower. He just really wanted to get his level 2.
He wants to get rid of him so he can get back to killing couriers, man.
Oh, you might be right.
Gotta get these creeps off.
It's actually important that he gets wards as well. Like, that's the other thing. Like, the only thing that makes contract killer pay off is if you're actually getting like D wards and couriers, or otherwise your
sentries?
game is like, I think it just in the tooltip says wards, so I don't know if you count sentries in that or not.
Technically it's sentry ward and observer ward.
Yeah, so it's like it doesn't actually say in the tooltip if it's observers or both. Not something I've practiced because it's just not a super pro, like, has not really been valuable.
I love Ricky though, so if they can make a good case for it, that's gonna make me hate Sweden Strong. Okay, he blink strikes under tower to cancel a clarity, I think, and then it's out. Loses a lot of health for it, but honestly, once Warlock doesn't have mana, what does this hero even do, right? Like, long attack range, sure, but it's really not much.
We're gonna see them fight for the runes here. Sweden Strong getting very low, but again, Triple S with these ion shells doing work. He's gonna get the return, but this time First Blood goes to Panto. That, you know, maybe if you didn't dive into the tower there, you'd be a little bit healthier to fight for that Lotus. First Blood, this very different from last game, right? Where you get the 2 kills immediately in the lane. This time, not quite the same. Overall, this is favoring Aurora a lot in that top side. That being said, Mira is down here on the bottom side, finished off here by Munkushi.
He's doing better than I thought, though. He is an offlaner who does well versus Jakiro since you have the natural dispel. You can't control it, but I mean, it happens. And then damage block is very good versus the innate of Jakiro. Yeah. But Luna's usually better. I wonder if that is, you know, like we're saying, the numbers. And that's part of the reason why we don't see her as much. She's not beating someone that he typically does or would in the past.
Some creep dragging shenanigans in the mid. Okay.
You don't usually see that.
There's a huge wave. Dragon Knight.
Oh, I didn't click him fast enough. Sweden Strong just dewarded, but I wasn't watching.
Ooh,
He is getting another courier, though.
Those things aren't cheap, you know.
Yeah, not that impressive. But he is doing like creep dragon stuff and all that to give Darkseer more solo XP. I guess the fact that he's similar to other supports while doing all this is something. He's got what, like an extra 50 XP so far? Got an assist as well. 75? Is that what it's at right now? Surprise rotation from Mira. Gonna get the Darkseer kill. That's the nice thing about Tidehunter. He's a very able hero to be left alone. Kiyotaka thought you could leave the mid hero alone, but 2 dragons, 3 dragon heads in the mid lane. Impossible to play
Much more
against.
powerful than 1 win rate.
Yeah. You got Liquid Fire and Corrosive Dragon against the mid tower with the catapult. Yeah, they gotta fortify. It's gonna take so much damage before Wind Ranger can get back.
Yeah, they need to bring multiple heroes here to stop this. Panto is forced to take the shield rune to try and survive, which it will keep him alive. That being said, there's still a catapult wailing away on this tower. Top lane, they actually get a kill onto a Ricky. Okay.
Actually just never left top.
Apparently. I mean, why? You don't really need anyone else bottom for the Tidehunter.
Yeah, like, I mean, what's gonna happen to him? Worst case. Luna's another hero who cannot control whether she shoves the lane in or not. So he's fine. He's just like chilling under tower, getting last hits. And I'll say, support players who transition to offlane, like sometimes, especially in pubs, you know, you got the offlaners who like don't know how to be left alone. They go way too hard. They feed. But anyone who's played support like Toronto Tokyo has, he knows. He's like, my job is to live. My job is to play it safe and let my other supports do things. Let Mira get 2 kills in the top lane already.
He is still here, and Triple S is like, all right, I'm out, dude. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm gonna go farm the jungle. Ion Shell some heroes. Ion Shell the Ricky and let him just stand in creep waves. Kiyotaka's just getting absolutely destroyed by this DK. Jakiro is back. Whittle down this tower.
Sentry and Observer, they know this pressure's coming, so they've got vision prepared for it, but you've really got the heroes who can deal with it that easily.
Is On's bottom. illusion. Not a great one for either of these heroes.
Isn't going to last long.
Dragon Knight's gonna use this time to again just start wailing away on that tower and close a D ward in the process.
Ricky's crying.
I love the commitment here in the mid lane. To like they did this last time with the D. Like they made sure that they were gonna bring.
It's working. I mean, that tower probably gonna get denied. Well, looks like they want to try to keep it alive a little longer, but it's got 149 health left. Dragon Knight can just walk up and finish it anytime he wants.
Oh, you didn't see that coming.
Denied.
Build for Wind Ranger? Not really. I haven't seen her much since the Whirlwind change. Not sure if there's like some cool new build, but so far seems the same.
Just as much help as
Everything I've seen is just go like treads into. That's it. It's really boring. But
not much good's
we'll
happening
see
to Radiant's bottom
if
tower.
she like prioritizes something like Blink Dagger or this game.
Radiant's bottom tower
Smoked
is
up
under
bottom
attack.
here, looking for Munkushi, who is just in his way deeper into his. They won't find him, but they will be able to grab themselves the tier 1 tower on the bottom side here with the
Radiant's got
Fortune's
problems.
changed.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Heading top early.
Not
He
much
once
good's
again has
happening to
consumed the Black
Radiant's bottom
Grimoire
tower.
and has his level
Dire's
6.
fortified their
Maybe a little
structures.
earlier than you'd expect.
Beating on
Well, I guess
Dire's top
nowadays you
tower.
completely expect it.
Radiant's
They see that he's level 6. So, all right, maybe not. There's gonna be the focus fire, the golem. He's trying to just TP. The Ravage will connect just in time to secure the kill.
3 ultimates used to kill him, though.
Yeah. They protect their tower in the process. Might be able to do some serious damage with the golem here. This Ice Macro Fire. They didn't quite connect there on some other spells, but they do get Dragon Tail onto Panto. That is a huge Fatal Bonds, though. They need to be very
Radiant's bottom
careful.
tower is no more.
A little bit more AoE damage. That might have been a triple kill. Meantime, Toronto Tokyo, he used Ravage. He's like, all right, I don't do much anymore. I'm going to go bottom. Takes the tower, finishes the job there. Didn't expect one. I think if they thought one win would fight, he would stay, but I thought after that kill on the Dark Seer, he still got the Golem. Was like, oh, surely they'll back off this tower.
Not with Dragon Knight now coming topside.
Dire's top
Strong's
tower
also
has
level 6 on the
fallen.
Ricky, so just playing Bounty Hunter here once again, basically.
The high-end shell on him, TA2000. Feels oddly familiar.
Yeah, I think he figured out that the Ion Shell is here, but still just takes a lot of damage from it.
And it's a little more annoying. Tiny is tankier than a Sven, but Sven built a Mask of Madness, so he could kind of heal through that constant Ion Shell poke. Tiny doesn't really do that, so a bit more trouble for him.
Haste.
Off the side in the river here, they're gonna find Kiyotaka. There's the Blink reveal, the Dragon Tail into the Ice Path. There's gonna be the smoke screen to finish the job. Very good stuff. And another
He's
really solid
just
Blink.
running
He has a
Kanto
haste.
down.
He's dead. He can't get away from this this Dragon Knight. Okay,
Bullying.
well, that's huge for this DK. Blink Strike number 1, Sweden Strong, ends up intercepting a Tide Hunter, though. There's going to be the Blood Grenade out. They'll find themselves a kill on the Jakiro.
Dragon Knight's coming from behind.
Let's see, is Dragon Tail actually connects onto the Tide Hunter. I don't think that was intended, but they have the Luna now coming in as well. Foul Play is going to buy him a quick moment, but not enough to survive. Big shackle out, no detection for Sweden Strong, though. He's fine. The focus fire, it's on the Ricky here, so you're losing all that damage. So is though, can they get the Dragonite with the help of TA2000 as well as Panto? They're going to turn it around. Here's going to be the Eclipse. They're looking for the Golem, but he can't get it off in time. They're just kiting him away. Chira Jr. into the Roche pit. Does not get the deny. They get the kill, but the Vacuum Vax now onto Kiyotaka. He's trying to get away. The Ice Pad connects though. Big dual breath as the Jakiro's back into this fight. The wall gets dropped as well. Oh no,
Tide is so
Aurora.
tanky now.
He pops the active. He's not taking any damage here at the moment. It's just going to be the ion shells that bleed him over time, and it should be enough. Do they want to commit, continue the chase? Doesn't look like it. A little bit afraid. All right, yeah, Toronto, Tokyo is a brick wall right now. This dude's caked up.
This is so funny. There's so much survivability and damage reduction on both sides. This is such a drawn-out fight. What is that? 7,000 damage dealt from one win and almost 9,000 from Aurora, and we're 14 minutes into the game. That was such a drawn-out fight.
Love that.
Harold's had it right. Let's just brawl in the mid lane, guys. This is the way.
Sometimes we just turn it to our primal instinct.
Return to mid lane.
In this game, yeah, return to mid.
Chira Jr.'s got himself an amplify damage. He's about the only hero who wants to deal with that. They're gonna make their way bottom though, see if they can get a kill. Scan right on the money though. Oh, they're gonna immediately back out. Do not give Chira Jr. a better game. We saw how much impact he had last time on that Dragonite.
Look right under a fresh ward placed from the Ricky. So they know exactly what's going on here. They could try and set up to pop this. It looks like they're just... Luna needs to get down here really quickly.
Dire's bottom
Now they
tower
actually managed to get it
being
onto the
chipped
high ground. So
away.
Aurora's actually in a really good spot to take this fight.
You can't get in here. It's too tough.
Fire out. Ike's available if he needs it. The Dragon Tail into the Macro Fire. The wall is there, doing some good damage, but look at the Fatal Bonds once again. Just getting completely baited here on one win now as Aurora, they're picking them up one by one. 3 dead as your Luna never comes to the fight.
I think one win should not even try to contest that. You technically know they smoked, and I think that's why they were thinking like, oh, we, have this information on them. We should try to do something. But you have to fight into Ravage and Golem. And this used to be, the Roshan choke point in the corner. Now it's the Tormentor choke point. It's too hard to take that kind of team fight there.
Yeah, that is definitely some miscommunication, it seems like, but hard to say what they're gonna do going forward. What you guys can do right now though is follow Fissure on all of the social channels. You can type !F in chat. The links for all of that. It's one of those things where like it looked decent in terms of like starting the fight onto the Wind Ranger, right? You get the Dragon Tail, the Ice Path, the Macro Pyre, but you get 4 hero Fatal Bonds again. Your Luna isn't even considering coming through the Twin Gate. And like maybe if the Luna is coming through the Twin Gate and like wraps around on the backside and gets like a nice like Eclipse and starts the fight, then maybe. But then you're like just pinched between the if they just turn and kill your Luna, like
Exactly.
that's just a very easy possibility. So it just seems like a weird fight, like you were saying, to take in the first place.
Yeah, I think it's just too hard. I think, unfortunately, you just have to give it up once you're not in position in time.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
What's the Ricky build now? An urn.
Mine.
Card queued up as well. This game, there's not as many saves. I mean, I guess he did use Shadow Word on the Wind Ranger in that fight. I don't think that was like the biggest deal. Take away the Solar Crest that Warlock's working on.
That first shard actually would have been huge out of one win if they happen to get it. Because if it went on to the Ricky, it's like game changing. But he's never gonna get it this game. Like not for another like 10+ minutes.
Here comes second torment.
Radiant's middle tower could use some help.
He could choose instead of this 4-staff to get it. It depends how urgent he thinks it is. Fortunately, mid ward placed by Jakiro right by a sentry that is about to die, so they get a free D ward off of that.
Radiant have fortified their structures.
Luna's working on her BKB. Maybe that's the time you have to wait for, because until you have that, I feel like it's so difficult to go into the Ravage and with the Fatal Bonds hitting everyone. You need people who can remove the Fatal Bonds, like Guardian Greaves on Darkseer, BKB on the Luna. Then not everyone is affected, and in fact you're like even healing some teammates. That might actually let you go into those kind of choke points without just instantly losing everyone.
Game is surprisingly even, considering like the start that I think OneWin had. I expected them to be a little bit further ahead, specifically on the mid lane. You have a slight lead on the Dragon Knight versus the Wind Ranger, but
Radiant's middle tower is
it's
under
really the
attack.
supports that just have no income here on the side of OneWin, right? Like Jakiro and Ricky are so unbelievably poor compared to the side of Aurora, and obviously the Warlock, he got the shard from Tormentors, so his net worth's like a little bit inflated, but
well, that's exactly why it's so good to get these Tormentors, right? Why a hero like Warlock really pays off. Strong lanes, and then when you take these early team fights around Tormentor, like no one wants to go into Golems and Fatal Bonds. I'm gonna try to find something. They're smoked up. They've got the Ravage. They've got the full team fight combo. Shackles.
X into Shackle. They do have a Shackle shot to follow it up with. He does get the Guardian Greaves off, but it's not in time. And the damage just onto the Ricky. It's him so damn low. He gets away from the fight at the moment, but still has Fatal Bonds on top of him. The kill shot gets him. Kiyotaka on the money, and Mira, of course, taking down the Jakiro on the backside. A quick 3 for 0. This game is falling apart for OneWin right now.
Nice find from Aurora. Didn't even have to use Ravage, though I don't think you'll really force a fight without the Golem. Maybe a smaller fight. For example, mid they should be able to get before too many heroes are up. No, they want an even bigger objective actually. They're gonna go straight to Roche. Drop the Serpent Wards, which they didn't have to use in that fight either.
Middle tower shouldn't have to take this abuse.
Right, huge plays from Aurora.
This is all really good stuff. The OneWin's draft, the differences from last game to this game, you had a DK Mirana, right, which could make plays. You don't really have that this time. You have a Jakiro, much less impactful in terms of being able to work with that like blink of the Dragon Knight. Can't go on Toronto Tokyo. He is impossible to go. Has Pipe Vlad's done. We'll look for the high ground here. They do find Panto on the Warlock. Followed up here on the Ricky. Nice silence. I think Strike should hold him down long enough. Yep.
What you see is what gets you.
Some of the draft adjustment, perhaps. Like you said, Tide going to Vlad's Pipe. These are the aura items that let you engage in these early fights. Last time we had the Mars. He had plenty of great initiations then, but couldn't really go toe-to-toe in the longer fights as the BKBs came out when they had no auras and Darkseer had literally only auras.
Radiant's top tower has
I feel like last game Aurora also had a window where they were kind of in this position but then started losing team fights. We'll see if these changes allow them to keep this momentum going. From now, they're in the lead, but it's not the end of the world. And it looks like Sweet and Strong's going to buy a little bit more time as well as the smoke fail. Well, that should be really fun if Kiyotaka also does
right into a sentry.
Second smoke.
All right. Yeah, there's no way out of this one.
Seen like this.
Well, it was kind of expected, right?
Job. BKB done and on the way for Kiyotaka now.
Tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower deserves just as much help as bottom. Radiant's top
Columns
tower
up
has
again.
fallen.
Yeah, it's time to see these guys start grouping again. Got the Aegis for 3 minutes. If you force a play right now, you can force one more play at the very end of the Aegis life.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Luna is very farmed, but the issue you have right now is like,
Radiant's top tower
if they manage
is
to get on
under
top of
attack.
her, I think she
Dire's
just
bottom
dies.
tower is
They do
being
see
chipped
TA2000
away.
here under the Sentry. Walk over, find the Jakiro, great silence point, drag down the backside to get on top of the Warlock. That's the big one. They take him out of the fight right away. TA2000 losing a lot of health here on the backside, but that BKB from Munkushi, it's about to expire, and he's all alone. Avalanche, Shackles, great round. It's a good vacuum, though. On to 3. Can they get the space to get Miss Luna out of here? With the focus fire, they're bringing her quite low, but she's just still surviving. Ice Path onto 2. The toss, though, will do it. The Ion Shells doing a lot of damage here over time. There's going to be the Ice Path. Once again, Toronto, Tokyo nearly invulnerable, but surely 2v4. They will bring him down. They say, screw it, turn the attention to the Tiny instead. They've got to get themselves a kill here eventually. Gets the invis off, but they've got plenty of detection. Another great Ice Path. A seemingly unending brawl here as Toronto, Tokyo now gonna get help from Panto. He's back. A great Fatal Bonds onto 4. The Golem gets dropped, but now turning their attention back onto the Warlock. The Surge on forward, and Chira Jr. Oh, he's going to get himself an extra kill.
Radiant's top tower deserves
It was hopeful. He was looking at that, how tanky everyone was. Losing the Warlock at the start of the fight sealed the deal there. One, they don't have the damage without Fatal Bonds and the Golem ult, but also we see how long that fight went because of the damage reductions and the armor, which means if you actually have the AoE heal from Shadow Word going throughout the fights, think how much, like, the effective health there is insane.
always did get
Oh my,
short shrift.
look at these damage numbers. This is crazy.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, the fact that Luna gets the BKB and gets so much damage into that fight early on was pretty massive. But then the fact that she lives so long, thanks to the spell layering from her team to kind of bail her out there when she was kind of separated, was pretty massive. Ends up living probably a lot longer than they expected. Now, that being said, we have Tormentor getting ready to spawn here. It should be up around that 26 mark. Or I know this, so they are somewhat positioned at the bottom here, but it looks like they're just gonna. The team that gets the high ground first is usually the team.
That's fair. I think especially in these, we have 2 team fight drafts again versus each other. So if you're in position, you're gonna get spot, especially because Golem is down. That's where that Golem at the end of the fight, that was a very hopeful attempt. And without that Golem, like, you can't come into here. So you are gonna have to give it up. It goes to the Jakiro. This one's not as good, I would say, as the Ricky's this game, but it really speeds up the Jakiro's farm speed to be able to just throw both of them on whatever like creeps you're farming, and you don't have to use your mana.
It's legit one of the best shards in the whole, in my opinion. I like Jakiro's shard. It to me is like, but I do think you really do need the Ricky shard, and he is not a character or a hero that can farm it very easily. So I think you're right. Like, you probably would have rather it go on the Ricky, because Jakiro is more capable of farming.
Ricky's about to have it anyways, though, so the timing's not too different. Maybe he would have liked to spend his money on something else, but at least you're gonna have it now.
He needs to buy it. Like, at this point, he can't delay it anymore. Yeah, Jakiro's shard, like you said, it helps him farm a ton, but it also allows him to both liquid fire and liquid frost the Tiny, which is pretty massive. Because he wants to be able to use both on that hero. Sweden Strong will be able to scout out Mira here. Triple S on the wraparound, gets the blink, the Dragon Tail. A very edge Shadow Shaman.
Oh, you didn't see that coming.
Where, oh, okay, we do have a gem onto the. Alright, I was about to say, this is where it's so difficult to live
Looks like
if you
Dire
don't
fortified their
have
structures.
any vision on the map,
Dire's top tower
which
is
they do
under
have a
attack.
spread of wards. This just happened to be like in the one area they don't know where the Ricky is scouting things out.
Are those
Found out
cracks?
here.
Dire's top tower is gone.
Gonna immediately head bottom, start scouting around. He's gonna run into the gem maybe though. Needs to be careful.
Trying to just make sure that this Tiny can't get away, and yeah, with the dust set up here, they got him. He's gonna be forced to BKB, try and TP on out. They drop as much damage as they can, but
close.
it's not enough. Just barely gets out.
Will you force another BKB charge off this Tiny? And
Dire's
it's
top tower is
like,
under
he's not
attack.
someone who wants to build the MKB. So as soon as you don't have the long duration BKBs versus smokescreen, so much damage goes down, right?
that
This is not
hurts.
the old spellcaster Tiny. Even as carry Tiny, like going crash landings, like, oh, I can't hit, but I still do like, you know, 1,000 damage with my crash landings. No, he needs to hit people to do his damage now.
Pure Junior's build is actually so sick. Just a blink AC and a BK. This is really good
Dire's
stuff.
middle
Gonna go
tower
for the
isn't
Monkey
going
King
to
bar
last
next to
long.
have a way of doing a wind run. He is so tanky. It's so much damage.
I like he got gunpowder gauntlet too. It's like, I missed the splash. I'm gonna get my own splash.
Oh, fire dragon at home.
It's a cool one. It's not too, I feel like I don't see that many people take it, but I like the idea of it. Wind Ranger also got one. I feel like Wind Ranger probably wanted the serrated shiv more. He didn't get the option.
Game's still very close. I do see, once again, we've got another BKB picked up on the darks here, so looks like it's go time here for
Someone
one
better
win.
help
As They
Dire's
pop the
middle
smoke.
tower.
Luna actually just like 75 gold off, or 100 gold off of the Shadow Blade, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, killing Tide would be sick. There's just no shot that he's the hero you can jump, right? It's like you have to do what happened in the last fight, which is kill every hero, maybe even twice, before you get to this Headhunter. Ward maybe scouting out Kiyotaka, but Aurora doing a really good job at dodging out this smoke completely.
On spawns, a little bit of a earlier spawn, 1 minute.
Do this pretty easily. The only thing you have to be worried about is it getting scouted. So obviously Golem, Fatal Bonds, Ravage, pretty good around Roshan. But Luna take this faster than they're expecting.
You're probably hoping it's not even up.
Yeah, it's so dead.
Radiant took down Roshan.
Just a little too
Aegis
slow to
hits
get
the
here.
deck.
There was a good reason.
Ooh, almost managed to close the gap there on Ichiro Jr., but he gets the blink away. So at this point, I think you're okay waiting for the Silver Edge, because it is a pretty big deal to get the Silver Edge this game. It actually gives you the ability to burst the Tide Hunter in some of these fights if he's the hero you want to go on. You also might be able to just rip through some of Tiny's inkiness as well. So
I think for both those heroes, it's a fantastic pickup. And you got 5 minutes on Aegis. The pros are great about maximizing the usage typically. So there's no need to rush when you have these 5 minutes. Well, okay, you see Mira. Why not pick up a free kill here? Get some money for the Silver Edge. Maybe not. Shakira takes it.
oh, bottom lane, Triple S. He actually just BKBs immediately, pops that surge, does not want to stick around. The vacuum's going to cancel Panto's TP. And boy, this Tiny Illusion doing some work now, trying to prevent them from escaping. They will BKB TP out on the Tiny, but of course he will not make it out on the Warlock. I mean, that's Golem BKB
Middle tower
spent,
shouldn't have to take this
and you
abuse.
lose 2 heroes across the map. This is go time.
I think so. I mean, Elder Dragon form lasts long enough that he still has about half the duration left. So if you can find a fight quickly, you'll still get the full value out of it. You don't have vision up here though, so it's a little bit blind on the way they're going. We'll see if they run into the tiny. They're calling like, oh, there's no way he TP'd out and is just sitting in base. You know, he definitely went to farm, and they're looking. But
he scanned it perfectly though.
Yeah, they scan it, so he's out again. Luna at least went mid. She didn't follow the team, so they are gonna get a tower off this. And maybe high ground because Golem's down.
They can. Like, they have the banner. Like, you saw them last game use the banner on a double catapult wave and take high ground. You can honestly banner drop this next wave if they want, but we'll see if they end up doing it. Nope, they're not banner dropping the wave at all. Luna actually taking quite a bit of damage here to start this one off. Cheer Jr. goes in, goes for the Dragon Tail, but realizing he's kind of stuck at the moment, he's just gonna BKB TP home.
Oh, close.
Barely making it out.
Would have been a huge
bit of an
kill.
Awkward.
Not only would you kill the Dragonite, but you would get the gem.
It's true, actually. I didn't.
Me neither, to be honest. But it's great to have as you're looking to close out the map, right? Remove the enemy's wards. And I think the new map it's annoying because there's many sections that are great to ward. Like, they're not. It's not the same as in the past. It's like, this is the best vision. There's a lot of spots where it's like, this is good vision. There's many spots like that. So it's like, whether you choose it here versus the next spot, they're all good vision, and you don't always know. So I think a gem, we might see more gems now because it's too hard to check everywhere that it could be.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I agree. I think it's just one of those things that, like, I think any sort of vision on like the placement of a hero is such an advantage. To see someone, you're like, all right, yeah, we can either push here or we can get them stocks are up. They're pushing and there's gonna be the Roche's banner.
Dire have fortified their structures.
Of course, to just try and halt this push, get some support here as Orthodox actually just taking some damage here from some glaives. Needs to be a little bit careful. Comes in. The Avalanche, great smoke screen. There's gonna be the vacuum, the Dragon Tail as well. They're gonna be able to grab this quick kill onto the Shadow Shaman, but TA2000's lost a lot of HP. Anchor is out, but the BKB will protect the Luna at least for now. Focus fire here onto Triple S. There's gonna be a big Ravage connecting onto all of them. They take down this Darks here, now looking for the Jakiro, and they got him. Best of one win, need to get out.
Dire's middle barracks are under
It's
attack.
a buyback. They do protect the barracks. They lost the tier 3. It's an okay hold. Because things are about to get real dicey. As soon as Luna can start glaving everywhere, that was like the last possible moment to start a fight for Aurora.
Good point, yeah. If those glaives start getting to work and bouncing into the back lines, there's just no shot. Fissure Jr. is also sitting on 5,000 gold, waiting to figure out what he wants to buy. He's been holding off on getting the MKB, so maybe he's thinking about something else. But I mean, Luna's also got 4,000 gold, so even though like they have this quote-unquote gold lead, there's like 10,000 sitting in the banks of just these numbers.
There's some time to decide what to build now, because there's not a clear objective to go for now that Tormentor's dead and Roshan won't spawn for 2 minutes. Maybe we'll see some smaller pickoffs, but you don't have to. Well, you have a little bit of time to force a bigger fight because Ravage and Golem are still down, used in the defense of the high ground. So you have about a minute to try to find a fight. After that, you probably everyone's waiting until an objective is closer.
And real hard not to get in a range of that gem, but they also really badly want to be able to grab this Tide Hunter kill. Silver Edge is coming up. There's gonna be the blink, the Dragon Tail. There's the break. They got him. Taking down the Tide Hunter. Run away with the jewels.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's an enormous.
Yeah, that's the most valuable kill they could have found. Even more so than the carry, I would say, because of the gem and how critical it is versus Tiny, or sorry, versus Ricky. I think they've had this long enough that they should be able to buy a nether gem, but it's such a pain for the supports. A lot of economic damage there.
Yeah, it's always really like funny where like maybe Tidehunter could have gotten really lucky there, and the Kraken Shell like procced on the damage from Dragon Tail, right? And he just walks away. But the fact that it doesn't, and he just waits for the Luna to close the gap. Good stuff there from 1-1, and honestly just really good movements from the Ricky and playing around that ward top side.
I thought it was available to buy another one. Maybe they're hoping to just steal it back.
Or Junior at and
Order.
they've already sent the other gem back to the fountain, so it is just sitting in there.
Junior's sitting at 40 armor, 71% physical damage reduction right now. I don't think Darkseer's even next to him either with some extra auras, so that's a very tough kill.
Radiant's middle tower could use some help. Dire's bottom
That's
tower
tier 2
has
tower
shattered
now
to little
taken.
pieces.
Aurora, they're smoked up, kind of looking for an engagement here, but be careful. All right, they're actually just backing out on 1-1. They're a little bit afraid.
This is a very critical time. This is the third Roshan that could be up. So they're just banking on the fact that they're hoping it'll spawn top. They're going to get out, like clean disengage, and then all move top and just hope this is where Roche spawns.
That ward getting taken away is huge. Right as Aurora's approaching the high ground, they actually find themselves to Jakiro right at the start of the fight, and they take him down, but they get on top of the tide. Easy careful. They just leak the Darkseer. Oh, this is a really good fight for Aurora. If they can bring down this Luna, that would be everything trapped inside the wards. There's the Ravage. They've got her surrounded. A big win here as 4 are dead, about to be 5.
Radiant's middle tower shouldn't have to take this
There's
abuse.
the gem back and a full team fight. You were maybe hoping to just get a couple of kills to set up for Roshan, but now you win a fight right in front of the enemy's base. You might actually just be able to get barracks instead. You don't even need Roche now.
Radiant's middle tower shouldn't have to take this abuse.
One buyback, drop smoke screens to buy time. It's honestly too late. I don't even know if he'll get here in time.
They can go straight to your force. They're calling the Luna's buyback bluff, and she actually doesn't have it.
so
TA2000.
right.
Structures are fortified.
The fact that she's not buying back, they know. Same with the Darkseer. You can't take the fight without these 2 heroes.
Oh, let's focus
Tiny.
fire.
Oh my goodness, what a hero. Jumping aggressively here. The toss back. Cheer Junior's in a rough spot. Can they actually find the kill though? He's trying to get it, and they do. Shackles right on the money. Force staff. It's not enough to save him. The kill shot gets the. That is going to be a dieback on your Dragon Knight. Big vacuum wall here, but Focus Fire now out. Creating space as the throne's now exposed. Tier 4s are gone, and this game is just over, dude. Aurora are gonna end it. One team fight into the high ground push, into taking the throne. You are kidding me.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
Buying some time here, disarming. It's just not. Luna,
No way.
7 seconds. No.
We're going to a game 3. Tiny apparently too strong.